All right, traders, it is Will with Trader Society. I'm going to prepare you to trade the best setups at the best prices heading into the rest of this week. We are going to be going over the key make it break it levels for the SPY. Say this key level reacts as a support level. You're going to want to scalp call options in and out. Say this key level reacts as a resistance level. You're going to want to scalp put options in and out. I'm going to show you exactly how to master the SPY heading into tomorrow. Let's get into the trading plans and the money making information. So first things first, in terms of the SPY, what I want you to understand is we closed at 398.54. So that's where we closed. And that's going to be our lower key level heading into tomorrow. In terms of right now, the SPY is gapping up. I even told my team, if the SPY closes weak as a lotto trade, I would recommend swing trading call options. Now, with that being said, at 398.54, this is your make or break support level. If the SPY gaps up, opens up higher than it previously closes, which is at 398.54 heading into tomorrow, then you're going to want to dip buy calls if it dips back down to 398.54 if it gaps up, because it's already gapping up, it's already bullish, it's already oversold, there's gaps to fill above. So if you see this rug to 398.54 to 399 zone, you're going to want to look to dip buy calls, especially if it gaps up. The key with that is if it gaps up. Now, if this gaps down or anything like that, I'm not too interested in doing anything at 398.54 in terms of puts. It's just more on sidelines because we're just so oversold. So what I want you to understand is the main idea would be if SPY gaps up, calls at 398.54. Now, where do we go from there and what are the next levels? So 398.54 is special because if it gaps up, that means it's going to try to have that gap close reversal and it's going to start to rocket back up to fill the next gaps. And we got a gap to fill right here at 407, right? So that's the main play, and that's what I need you to be aware of heading into tomorrow. Now, what do we need to know in terms of just basic support and resistance? Well, $400. $400 to $401 is your key resistance. If they can break that out and turn that into a floor, it's going to go super bullish, and then they're going to try to send it to $404, which is make or break. $404 is a gap breakout. Will, what's a gap breakout? When a stock gaps down, opens up lower than it previously closes, you can visually see once it goes above the high of day from the day that it gapped down, there's no resistance. So if it breaks above that level and starts to turn into a support level, it starts to break out to fill the gap at 407. So if 401 can turn into a floor, we go to 404. If 404 can break out, we go to 407. Now, when I'm scalping, max time I look to hold is 20 minutes. 20 minutes max, in and out, and you can go at further expirations, play it safe, and at the money strikes, barely out of the money, right? That's what it is that I'm doing. I'm not holding and hoping those, right? So if you're in a trade for like 20 minutes with the SPY, it's going to move likely around $1 to $1.50. So that's how you can kind of get an idea for the targets, right? But if it moves like 50 cents to $1 in my direction, I usually just get out, take my wins, and cut my losses quickly, right? So in terms of the stacked levels, 398.50 is your best level to dip buy calls, especially if we gap up. Your next resistance level is 400 to 401. If it breaks above that, then we go to 404. If it breaks above that, then we go to 407. Now, if one of those levels that I just mentioned reacts as a resistance level, then it goes down to the next level. So, if 404 fails to break out and it's a fake out, then it goes back to 401. If 401 breaks down, then it goes back to 400. If $400 breaks down, then it goes back to 398.50. What I need you to understand is, in terms of the SPY, what we're due for is something like this. We're due for a chop channel. See how the SPY kind of gaps down multiple times and sells off, and then it's in a chop channel, and then it rockets back up eventually, not right away, to fill the gaps. That's what I see that is trying to play out, right? And that's what I want to bring awareness to. Also, this daily pattern, for those of you who stay to the end of these videos, you truly do get rewarded with the best information, right? So take a look at this pattern on the daily chart. SPY has a big red candle, and then it forms like this trend reversal, bearish kind of doji reversal candle. And then what does it do the next day? It bottoms exactly at the previous closing price, which in this case, if the pattern repeat itself, which would be 398.54. So in terms of pattern recognition, I want you to visually compare this chart. See how SPY's oversold and has this big red bearish candlestick. See how SPY's oversold for the micro has this big red bearish candlestick. And then see how you have this trend reversal candlestick right here on the daily chart. And then see how you have this trend reversal candlestick right here on the daily chart. What happens on day 3 if that pattern in history repeats itself? You can see the SPY starts to bottom at the previous closing price, and it has a massive green day. And you guys know we are due for some sort of short-term spike. And since we're at oversold levels, I'm going to be call focused. But if our key levels react as a resistance levels, I'm not going to look to take a trade, and I'm really not too interested in doing puts because it's oversold for the micro. It's more of a sidelines or more of a lotto. So the best case scenario and what to really look for is your previous resistance is towards this 399, and if that reacts as a support like it's been doing for the past 2 days basically, and this pattern repeats itself, the SPY is going to go super bullish and it's going to start to fill the gap at 407. So in terms of pattern recognition on the daily chart, I just want you to be aware of this pattern. Big red candle, trend reversal candle, trend reversal candle. What happens on the third day? Previous closing price reacts as a support, it's the exact low, and it starts to take off. So in order for that to repeat itself, what would we want to look for heading into tomorrow? We would want to look for a floor, a bounce, a support towards 398.54 to 399, right? And if we see that occur, then we should really start to try calls and ride this into the $400 range. So that's the play. That's what I want to bring awareness to. If 398.54 cracks and reacts as a resistance, there's no reason to be in calls. Max pain for calls is under 398. The reason why I'm call focused is because we're oversold. I showed you the pattern, and also this is previous resistance. Previous resistance is at $400. When it reacts as a support, the SPY quickly goes up to 404 to 407 within 2 days. And as you can see, we are towards previous resistance, the previous top, and it's trying to react to support. And look at this candlestick, trend reversal candlestick, trend reversal candlestick. What happens the next day? Big green bullish candlestick. So imagine not knowing this pattern or not knowing this information and trading this SPY heading into tomorrow. You'd be absolutely blind. I'd be extremely confident in calls if I saw the SPY bouncing off the previous closing price or slightly above it, and if SPY was gapping up. I would be very, very confident in playing calls based off the pattern, based off of previous resistance trying to react to support, based off the gaps waiting to fill above, and it's oversold for the micro. It's due for some sort of pump. So that's what I needed to bring awareness to. I hope you visually see the pattern very, very clear. Just to draw it in ovals and make it super simple, you have a big red day right here. You have a big red day right here. And this is at previous resistance. It's trying to react to support for 2 days. And then you have a trend reversal candlestick right here. So you got this trend reversal candlestick right here on the SPY. And then you have this trend reversal candlestick right here on the SPY. And then what happens next day? Previous closing price reacts as a support level. Once it's confirmed support, it closes very, very strong at the highs, and the bulls take control in the win. So if that's the case and we are bottoming at previous closing prices, you are going to want to be focused on buying calls towards the dips. So with that being said, guys, that's going to wrap up today's video lesson. That's my game plan for the SPY heading into tomorrow. If you do want to be a part of Traders Society, it is the first link down below in the description. Once you join the program, it is a one-time fee, and you get lifetime access to Traders Society. So if you do want to be a part of our program, it's the first link down below in the description. All of the information is explained there. You get access to the Discord server, the moderators, you get access to the chat room, the webinars, the live trading sessions, the voice channel, how to trade the best setups at the best prices, the trading system, the course. There's so much more to it. If you want to check it out, is the first link down below in the description. We will be raising the prices in March. With that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow to trade the best setups at the best prices.